You are now listening to Empty Out the Clip.
Alright, welcome everybody to another episode of the Empty Out the Clip podcast, the EOTC. My name is Cams and I'm here in the heart of West Auckland with the brothers in the house. So we got Kaiser, we got Eddie, we got Letzi. What's up, Moso?
What's up, gentlemen?
What's up, brother?
What's going, man?
Yo, what's up, Fuzos?
Man, it's good to be back for another round, for another episode for the week. Let's do some shoutouts. Let's go, Kaiser.
Oh, yeah, shout out to the brothers out in the Grace Foundation. Shout out to the boys out in, that's me.
Yo, shout out to my Usos, my Inga, and Westside Boxing crew. But just want to make just kind of like a thoughts and prayers to all the people that are affected by the large earthquake in Myanmar, formerly known as Burma. Thoughts and prayers to everyone that's affected by the earthquake. Those are my shout outs.
Nice sauce. My first shout outs to all the Turks that competed in the Battle of the Nations, or Battle of the Regions cricket tournament in East Auckland yesterday. Shout out to the brave Filippo Ipati, managed to get in there and snap an hours worth of photography. Another shout out to a small business startup that's VNS Baking, which is also Sulu and his wife. They just kickstarted their little baking goods this weekend. So mad shout out to the bro, and we enjoyed the treats we got yesterday. And then another one's out to Kita and Leroy, who started up a Cheersies one going on like 4 weeks now. So mad shout out to all those supporting their small business front. My last one's to my niece Oksana Kefu over in Sydney. Still waiting for the Thursday call, darling. So looking forward to catching up with you. That wraps up my shout out tools.
So boys, I just want to make a shout out to everyone that listens into our podcast, the Empty Out the Clip podcast. It's part of the West Network. You can find us on YouTube. We're on Spotify as well. You can listen to us on there. We're also on Facebook. If you want to drop a comment, drop an article so we can talk about it on the podcast, feel free to do that. It's a Facebook group page. It's private. So just answer the questions. We'll let you in. You should do your thing on there. Also on the West Network, you can find all the content on there on our website, westwestnet.com. Also find all our videos on our YouTube channel, the West Network YouTube channel. And on the socials, we're on Instagram, we're on X, we're on Facebook and TikTok as well. You can find us on there. Do a like and subscribe in the YouTube. That's the West Network. All right, boys. Man, it's been another week. How's it been? Let's start with you, Kaiser.
Yeah, good, brother. Just catching up with some old-time friends. And, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. Everything's positive. Everything's, life was good. What else been up to? Just trying to keep up with you guys, to be honest. Just trying to keep up with you guys. And, and then, once again, just trying to stay healthy, fasting, and trying to listen to my coach to knuckle down on their nutrition, which is all Polynesians' weakness, right? But so just focusing on that, more fasting, trying to stay disciplined with the nutritional stuff, and then and trying to change that lifestyle around, cut down on a lot of alcohol, cut down on a lot of weed, but at the end of the day, man, life was good. What about you? Let's.
Oh, bro. Week's been hectic, I guess it's probably running itself up. I managed to pick up my contract yesterday, so I got to fill it out. Man, and then probably have an induction. I think I've been given a date to start. It was probably the 8th of next month, of April, this month. So, I think God's been listening over me and listening to my Kinga Inga in prayers. So it's
Amen.
Just feel blessed, man. Also just be able to be home with my son, man. I don't think, man. Like you said the other podcast was like, don't hurry back to go be a workplace's bitch, man. Like I don't think people realize how heavy and whether they register that. You know what I mean? Like if you like, get paid, you can get paid billions of dollars, man. But there's no price I can put on just the 4 months that I've had off, man, with my son. And I've just been fortunate enough, like, we're struggling, like, we're not, our fridge and cupboards aren't stacked, bro. But I think the time rich that and life rich that I've, gained is far outweighs anything, you know what I mean? So yeah, looking forward to standing all day again and getting a sore back for the first 2 hours. But I mean, happy to just be close to home, man. Like, that's always been the thickest, is to be like at least 10 minutes close to home drive, So the week's been good, man. Yeah, me and my son, we got a routine. We drop the girls off to Castor and come back home and come to my son's room, because the son's always beamy, man. And the Maile always comes to the Whamalama, like, he knows the show, man. Sits there and waits for my son to bang out the window. And it's funny, man, because my wife, she had a Friday off and she finally got to see what this guy gets up to. But there's this big bear, it's like a real kids' children, a kiddies program. And the bear just goes up to the TV and he sniffs. And I've only just realized my son touches the dog's nose because their big bear comes right up to the screen and sniffs the screen, you know what I mean? And so my son's always wondered, like, I want to touch that, because he's got a big nose. So it's been pretty funny, seeing him react like he's extra shy, like he's seen a superstar. But LA, Lord, this Miley needs a shower, man. But yeah, it's funny, those sort of moments I've had at home have been gold. So yeah, not looking forward for him to go to daycare, probably the mother-in-laws. And then same old, bro. Just doing the school drop-offs and pickups and that. And yeah, haven't really davao or anything like that. Just on the side of the house here. That's about it, man. My life's not that interesting. But now shout outs to my toko Sonny and also to my brother Brendan. We caught up yesterday for hot chocolate instead of going for a walk. Because we usually walk up the cemetery. Anyone who's done the cemetery at the moment, man, props to you if you go all the way through and get through the track, man. But last time we were walking up there, bro, I didn't think he understood half the shit that I was saying, and vice versa. I wasn't listening because I was too seller, you know what I mean? It's like Darth Vader breathing, both of us trying to understand what we're going on about. But it was just nice to catch up with him and just show him the news, and just want to just catch up. That coffee club chat we usually have when we Savali, man. But now that wraps up my week, bro. It was nothing interesting, Same old.
Sure, man. Yeah, the interesting week. I had was a normal week at work, but I took Friday off because Friday was my mum's 80th. So she turned 80 on Friday.
Whoa!
And
man.
so it was me and my sisters, right? So I just one of those ones handed over to my sisters to organize, and I try to stay out of it as best I can. Just let them do it. So they were getting all stressed out and all that, but that was all good. I was in the family chat, like just reading what the dramas are and all that.
Yeah.
Just add my 5 cents if need be all week. So, but it's a milestone. It's a milestone, every time a parent hits 80. It comes real fast, You just don't. You don't think about it until it happens, and then you think about, like, if you're gonna make 80.
Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah, it was it's good. It's good to celebrate those sort of milestones.
Nice.
Sweet boys. Okay, so we get to our topic. So we're gonna do sports first, since it's fresh in our minds. So the thing that comes straight in the mind is last night's win with Moana Pacifica beating the Crusaders at the Crusaders' home in Christchurch. Man, they smashed them, What was the final score? It was like
45 something.
45. Man. But did any of you guys catch the match?
I picked Crusaders to win that, man. I didn't expect that. I just put a lazy 10 on them, man.
Just in case.
So my heart was like racing there. I thought, I agree with what you said. It's either going to be the greatest upset of all time or the greatest comeback of all time. And luckily it was the upset, bro. It was amazing, Well, yeah, it just goes to show, like, some of the plays Xavier wasn't even involved in, It was just the whole team just battled out together, man. It was such a great day.
He did score the first 2 tries, though.
Yeah.
Adi, but the way he scored them, me, like saw the chat and Neddy came on the chat and said, "Man, Adi's a beast," and he was, man. Like that's been the MO for Moana all through the season. Like if their forwards get the ball close to the opposition line, like in their 22, and they're doing those pick and go, they're gonna score eventually because they've been a nightmare for those opposition teams at that in that kind of situation, man. So I'm glad to see Moana doing it early, and because they've always been a second half team, huh? They've always struggled in the first half, and then they sort of come back in the second half. But by that time, the opposition has put so much points up in the halftime that they can't. They're playing catch up rugby, So and that's why they'll be losing. But it's good to see them sort of dominate right through the whole game, man.
Yeah, 45-29 was the final score.
Yeah, 45-29. Yeah.
Was Moore playing? Oi, didn't even know he was on the field.
Yeah, he was playing. He was there in the midfield. Yeah. So the Crusaders actually rested a lot of their players, no, for this game. And if you heard Jeff Wilson at the end of the game, like the post match show, he was saying, was it Jeff Wilson? No, it was Marshall. So Marshall was saying that, man, I knew they were gonna struggle because they were resting a lot of players from the Crusader side, and that might be the wrong move because you cannot underestimate Moana.
Of course not, yeah. We were just calling that a couple of weeks ago too, Moana's unpredictable.
Yeah, two standouts for me was definitely Adi leading from the front, and then also Tuala as well. I think the leaving of Aumua, and we sort of didn't see him all of last year, but then he stood up in this game. I thought he played really well, considering you're running against like maybe one of the two front runners for the AB's 12. So he obviously showed that, but he can foot it with the Kiwi boys, and bro, whoever he pledges his allegiance to, knowing that they're gonna start offering these guys playing well for Moana an opportunity to play for the All Blacks. Oh man, I wish him all the best, bro, because bro, he played out of his skin. Like I've never seen anyone shadow someone like Havili and then sort of make him look, oh, was he playing? Like he literally made the other midfield look like MIA, man. So good on him. It takes a lot of skill to do that.
Why'd you do that first five? Pellegrini?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's running the ship better than Bishop, I'd say. But yeah, Hararus.
Yeah, his kicking game was on. And how many 50-22s were there? Alamotzi, he scored a 50-22.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's not to discredit what Bishop can do when he goes deep, but it's the more of the knowing to pass and when to run. You know what I mean? But that's why Tolan that can actually have a go at the way they did in their game, man. So fuck yeah. You just hope they don't do this Auckland Blues thing and rotate everyone to have a run and then Kaipu like the Aupiki Blues did when they lost to Matatu yesterday. So it'd be good,
So congratulations, Eddie, on winning your bet. Your lazy 10. The lazy 10. But you know, it's funny because when you posted up on that chat, like it was like they gave it early. What do they call it?
Payout.
Early payout.
First half, yeah.
I thought that was premature because we're talking about the Crusaders here, and the score was for the Crusaders. They could catch up and win this game in the last minute. It wasn't until Moana scored again. It was okay. It was off the books now, but I thought that was all premature. But good. That algorithm probably is not that smart.
I think it's once the team reaches a certain point, then there's a payout. Yeah, but I was happy.
Yeah. What a sneaky lazy 10.
But big ups to them, their line out as well, Like, shit, there's a couple of times they were throwing to the back of the line out, and then Scott Robertson was going up. Fuck, the ball was going over him, man. Like, shit. That's the All Black front jumper, you know what I mean? So, from Moana to execute that at the back, bro, that's fucking... And a lot of the play was off the top as well, like, not just taken down and then mauled. It was like, off the top, 2 passes and we're going wide, bro. Like, but we look dangerous, Or am I saying we like it's our teammates? But yeah.
Hey.
Moana looked the part, man. They looked the part, bro. So even their plays with the Lucy's playing inside of the first five, like a lot of that stuff, bro. Like they play into plan, you know. So man, shout out to Tana and the boys, bro. Like fucking, their game plan unrolled like that, especially when in the front foot. So that's nice to watch, bro.
Bad coaching by Rob Penny, eh? Like putting his Canterbury team up there, not the NPC Canterbury team against Moana, eh? And like, because that's what they make them look like. And Moana played with a lot of energy, and you can tell the passion when they were playing and how they were like their attitude. They like complete opposite to the Blues. Like when you watch the Blues play, none of that attitude, none of that sort of will to win, wanting to win, or happy and all that kind of stuff. The passion that Moana had, like something that's something that's missing from the Blues, eh? And that sets up that matchup. I think in 2 weeks' time, the Battle of the Bridge, Moana and the Blues. They're on a collision course, man, and everyone wants to see if Moana has it in them to beat the Blues, the big brother of Auckland right now, eh, man. So that'll be a good game, interesting game.
When is that game? Next weekend?
Nah, weekend after. So I think the
after.
Blues have Hurricanes next week because they had a bye this week. They got Hurricanes and then they've got Moana.
Big ups to Moana, the way what a real good upset, eh? But they always had that sort of fire, eh? Like you said, Cam. So since the start of the season, just every player just clicks, eh? They just got that mana, you know what I mean? They read each other well, even though they're talking about Auckland, looks like Auckland they just don't look like they have the passion, eh? You know, they just don't look like they're feeding off each other. But when you watch Moana, they had us since the start of the season, bro. So, man, I'm expecting better surprises from them through the whole season, eh? Good on Moana, man. Man, mad respect, mad love. Yeah, just claiming more new fans, eh?
Facts.
A lot of bandwagons, eh? The bandwagons come from the Blues to Moana.
Feed the Moana brand, man. Moana brand's climbing.
But that's the thing, eh? Like, we were speaking of Moana's identity as a team, what they're doing. Like, yeah, sure, they leak a lot of points, but they also score a lot of points too. So that's the identity. Like, I think the culmination of their hard work of what they're trying to do this season, won them this game. Like, as a team, who they are, who they represent, it's all in there. You can actually see it when they play, right? If you compare that to what the Blues are doing, look at the Blues. And you spoke of this last week. Like, you don't even know who the Blues represent, who their story is, what their story is, eh? It's like they're all over the place. Like, yeah, they won last year, but they've lost that identity of what they were last year. So you look at the Blues, you try to figure out who are they playing for. Whereas for Moana, you know exactly who they're playing for. And that's the big difference there.
Yeah, he captain pretty much, and he summed it up at his post match conference interview when he said it on the field. He said, you look around, you see the little fans, you see all the people in the stands. We're playing for something bigger than us, just a jersey, you know what I mean? So obviously the energy's there, man, and it's full time, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like many things, bro. It doesn't matter how you start, it's how you finish, eh? And like the boys are evident of it at the moment, man. So yeah, whatever hurdles are in the way, man, these guys are gonna keep smashing each one down. I didn't see them pulling up, but just all those haters that doubted Ari going over there and playing shit and carrying the team. Rewind the track and press play again, man, because fuck, it's doing the opposite, eh? They're actually on the front foot, man. So now if he had to pick a All Blacks team from the squads playing now, I don't think it will affect the back end of last Super Rugby season. Be a huge difference, eh? Massive difference.
Speaking of Ali, yeah, even Ali said that's his best. How you say his best out of his whole career, right? Playing for Moana, that's his highlight of his whole career. Of his whole career, man, by playing for and leading Moana. So big ups to Ali, man. Much alofas, man. Big heart, bro.
And then watch NZR come and pick their players they want for All Blacks. Okay, next NRL. So, man, the Bulldogs, undefeated. Only team undefeated now. They beat... Man, they had a good win last night. Now they're like top of the table. Is this for real? Or is this going to be just a 1 week thing? What are your thoughts, Kaiser? Is this for real or what?
I don't know, but I know I picked the Bulldogs, remember? Picked the Bulldogs. All my teams are winning, man. They're coming up trumps, man, on the top of the table there. Yeah, so I don't know, it's always like that. What round is it now? Round 3? Round 4? Round 3, yeah. Yeah, so
The round 4?
yeah, they got a good skipper, eh? I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, I think once again that fire for the Bulldogs has just come back, and culture-wise, back into that team again. With the new skipper in there, there just seemed to be more bonding, more this Bulldog side, this new face of Bulldogs for the season. So I give it up for them as well. Can't underestimate the Bulldogs, man. They're gonna come from behind on every angle. So big ups to them. Big ups to them. What's on the tops now? Bulldogs, Broncos, Storms, Titans, and Rabbitohs, is it?
Hmm.
On the points table. Yeah. Oh, why the Broncos? Yeah. What about you?
Oh man, yeah. The dogs are kind of like reminding of the Warriors from 2023. Like they weren't like beautiful games, but they just grinded it out. Like they kind of a lot of commentators will say putting the screw on, where they slowly tighten, extend their lead, tighten up their forwards. And man, like without Burton, I didn't think they'll win against the Sharks. But nah, they just came together and just full on like kind of did what the Sharks do to every other team, just blast through the forwards and suffocate the halves when it comes to defense. And there was one player I was watching in particular, Montoya, and man, he looks happy there, eh? He looks extremely comfortable. Yeah,
He's got a nice try on the wing. I didn't see him score tries like that for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. There's one try got taken off him, for I think it was impeding the defender. But man, yeah, he's doing well there. Yeah, Crichton, man, Crichton, he's a leader, bro. Like he's brought that Penrith culture with him, eh? Into the Bulldog system. That was good. Yeah, shout out to my Broncos, man. We had a hard win against the Dolphins. But yeah, looking forward to the Tigers and the Warriors playing tonight. That'll be a good match as well. And I think Manly plays against Raiders. No,
we got Eels.
Eels. Yeah.
Yeah.
So those two games will be good. Yeah.
That was a good win from the Bulldogs last night against Sharks, because that was a real test for them to play a quality team like the Sharks, eh? Because if you look at who they beat no Queensland, who not looking that flash before. They did beat Penrith, but Penrith, man, they've lost 3 in a row now. So they're not looking that hard either. But you're right. They've lost Matt Bredon's injury. Kikau's not there for injuries, and they're still pulling off these wins. So these are good wins for the Bulldogs. And that one against the Sharks is a good one too. So we'll see how they do when they play other top teams like the Broncos and Melbourne Storm. There'll be another test for them to see where they're at. So, moving on to the topic. So, later you posted this up on our Empty Out the Clip Facebook page. It's to do with Efeso Collins' widow. And I think she had a court case, or something, She was somewhere, and then an ex-rugby player came up to her to ask her about how her husband passed away. And because he was like a anti-vaxxer, and then there's that, and then along with that story, there was another thing where she's having an inquiry about how her husband passed away and investigated into what took place to answer a lot of questions her and her family have. Yeah, which is pretty interesting, because it brings up all sorts of things like health and safety in the workplace, or if this event that Efeso passed away, because it was a charity event where he had to run around, carry buckets of whatever it was, and sort of had a heart attack when it happened. And if that event had proper protocols in place for health and safety, and if he would have survived if they didn't have the proper protocols in place. So a lot of health and safety comes into that. But I'll start with you. Alex, what was your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, obviously you shared the post about the guy sort of just officials were straight out of the courtroom and then just spamming her with a bunch of questions about the vaccine. There's been an MP in the on Facebook who's obviously tried to rally up a lot of people and let them know that there are ways to apply through ACC if you feel like you're suffering from long COVID, and with the sort of like the hush hush about guys or people who had actually lost their lives through COVID right up until when Efeso died. Well, there's no real inquiries around why people have been passing away the way they have been, usually due to blood clots, heart attacks, and other stuff. So for her to just go to court and just inquire about whether they do a full scale investigation into how he passed, it's not asking a lot, because she found out the way she found out, like a lot of other people did. There was no courtesy about them trying to be quiet and just wait, let her hear the news before a news outlet let it out. So there was that. There was the fact that her kids were still at school. It was already known to the nation before their dad had this guy's kids had found out. So the least the courts can do is give her that, like, do a full scale investigation into why he passed away, because that was freakish, man. And David Teller was right with him. And the pace they were going wouldn't have been enough for someone just to normally collapse. So there would have been underlying issues, but whether that's related to the vaccine, well, who knows, man. So why not just give her the opportunity to, but whether they'd have to dig up his body and check for stuff, I don't know, you know. But nah, man, anyone out there who actually feels like they might be suffering from long COVID, man, go and get checked, man. It's not gonna it's not gonna cost you a lot, but at least you know. Because, bro, there's been days that I feel like my fog brain and sometimes the way I feel is like, shit, man, like just getting a little cough and it feels like I'm gonna die, you know, because of my lung capacity has shrunk, you know, or it feels like I've got water in my lungs. But no, yeah, she deserves a full inquiry into why he passed, because she, you know, she went to work, or she was at home, her husband went to work, he didn't make it back home. Like, you know, she deserves that much. Like, they should be able to give her that much. Yeah, not really nice to sort of like dive back into like stuff that's happened in the past and someone actually dying at a charity event, like of all places. But yeah, she deserves that, man. Like, you know, that's the least that the courts and the charity themselves can do, along with maybe implementing something that's gonna safeguard people from entering charity events as well. You know, having a list of medical examinations, whether people are healthy enough to go and do these things, because that was freakish, bro. Like, I don't think anyone's expecting that. But yeah, I just thought, yeah, she deserves the full inquiry, man. Like, give it to her, man. She's not gonna be, you know, it's not gonna rest well with her until she gets it done. So no, I fully support her, man. 100.
Eddie, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, man. One thing I'll describe her as, she's all class, man. Like, the way she handled the question coming to her. For me, it was just time and place. For that line of questioning to come at her. I mean, she just wants to put to bed what had happened, and I fully agree with what Letty was saying. But yeah, so the concerns were over safety protocols, proper measures in place for emergencies, and how Auckland Council had approved the event, and did they approve it knowing full well that all the safety requirements were met, and if there was adequacy at the event. So the full support for her. Yeah, the charity event like was for clean drinking water for the Pacific. So of course, Whanana Efeso Collins is gonna do something for that. So it was a good cause, but yeah, what caused his death is a bit of a mystery. So yeah, full support for her. Hopefully the inquiry answers a lot of questions. I think she just wants a bit of closure from it. And yeah, still condolences, man. He's a big loss in our community. I think a lot of people in our community still mourn his loss, especially on that political forum. Because it's like one of our main voices for Parliament just being silent. So now full support to her. Hopefully she gets all the answers that she needs, and yeah, and hopefully that gives her a little bit of closure. How about you, Kaiser?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't been keeping. Yeah, they appreciate the coroner's decision to seek more further clarification for the widow, for Fessa's wife, and respectfully, yeah, much alofas to him and his family and his kids. Of course, they're still mourning, but apparently, yeah, Child Foundation has also put their say in and saying that they were confident on the day that all necessary health and safety measurements were put into place on that day. So, yeah, just like I don't think anybody expected that. But like I said, all I can say out of respect, just much alofas to her kids, and yeah, over the grievance of their lost one. That's me.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you guys. I think she should actually get closer to having a closure to this case and have everything that's available, all the inquiries, all the investigations, everything to come down and put in the report and give it to the family, and so they can have peace of mind and all that. But it also puts into question in certain industries in this country that need proper health and safety protocols, because it's uneven, and I know this for a fact. If you look at the construction industry in this country, it's probably the best example of health and safety, because in construction sites there are deaths, there's accidents and all of that. So in New Zealand, we actually hard out on health and safety when it comes to construction sites, and in our construction industry, we're one of the leading protocols in the whole world when it comes to that. And with PPE, with the wear and all the protocols coming onto site, the signing in, signing out, and all the health things, we're actually hard out on that. Construction industry in this country has it down to a T, the health and safety. When it comes to other industries in this country, not so good, especially in education. Education, there's like the health and safety, there's like a manual that's like a general sort of thing. And whether schools apply that to their school, or they need to sort of establish whether it's met for purpose, it's probably not. And it has to be a lot of work into Ministry of Education where to implement these health and safeties, if they need to be upgraded or things taken out or things put in. It's not that thorough than what it is for the construction industry. It's not just education, there's other things. So there's workplace health and safety, stuff like that. So this event that Efeso took part in, like what were the health and safety protocols around that event, if it was to the 100% to what it needed to be. See, the family needs to know that. They talked about whatever that thing is to defibrillator to your heart. They had to find it from the mall or something. I think there was a thing where they never had one, but they had to get the nearest one, and the nearest one was at the mall, Commercial Bay Mall, and there was like conflicting stories where that defibrillator came from. Was it from the mall or was it from the thing next door, or did someone bring it in? Was there ambulance there? Because we're talking about like an event where it's a physical event, right? So you have to run and all that kind of stuff. Was there things in place? Or were there health tests? Did they have to check your heart rate or something like that?
For sure.
I mean, it's a hard out thing, right? So was all of that in place? Could things have been done better?
That's good call. Good call.
Yeah, so we don't really know, and there's protocols written down. It's whether or not it's applicable to that situation. So yeah, I think and you can say like, okay, so if that happens next time, what's going to happen next time? We got to do a thorough test. Everyone has to have like a physical test before you go to any kind of event. So that does that when people apply for events to the Auckland Council, and people have to run around, you have to do all these tests now. You have to pay for all these tests, or it might get expensive, so it might get too hard. It might get too hard. So
the course itself is I don't know how long the course was, but so it's a course where they got to carry 2 buckets of water, right? And then it contains 5 liters. So while running around the course, they got to clock in like while running or walking, they got to complete 15 laps around the course, running or walking, carrying 5 liters buckets of water. So that's the course. That's the details on what they had to do. But I guess they all are like a gym membership, right? Or like a sports event. Everybody signs a waiver, and on that waiver would have what sort of health conditions and all this and all that. And I'm sure they would have had qualified people like a nurse on site just to take their blood pressure at the time before they went on. I don't know. Actually, I shouldn't say that because I shouldn't assume, but I would love to think they would have those sort of protocols in play. So I guess that's what they're asking for, to see if everything and all those protocols in regards to health and safety was in play. Man, good on them. Good on them. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's hard also because you can't really know if things are dangerous until someone gets hurt, until someone gets injured. Because before that, you probably think everything's fine. So now I think now this has happened. Now the rules are going to change for that. I don't think you can see the future and protect every little thing. You can try and protect everything. What's that going to mean? That's going to mean some things will be cancelled because you can't do it because it's too hard. Or you make sure you do your best and you make sure that whatever's on the health and safety protocols. See, like every gym, like if you go to the gym, like there should be health and safety protocols in the gym. Someone gets injured by a dumbbell or something falls on them, there should be a protocol there. Like any industry should have their own health and safety protocols, but it depends on how they implement it. It depends if what's written down in that industry, it applies to them. Sometimes it's not because no one has got injured yet. And then when someone gets injured, then they start looking at it specifically, and things will change. So, interesting topic there, boys. Oh, so speaking of Auckland Council, they've picked what they're going to do with the Auckland sports stadium situation. So they had 3 options on the table. They wanted 3 stadiums for 3 different size stadiums for different sporting events. So one option was to upgrade Mount Smart, get more stands in there. And the other one was to either have a large stadium, either upgrade Eden Park or create a new stadium down at the waterfront.
Waterfront, yeah.
And then another one was to upgrade, I think, Western Springs. Yeah, they're going to upgrade Western Springs. So the options, there's only one option, whether to do the large stadium at Eden Park or at the waterfront. They did a vote, they did a debate and a vote, and they came up with a decision, and Eden Park won. So no more waterfront stadium. We're going to go Eden Park for the large stadium. We're going to have a medium upgrade, small at Western Springs, and a medium at Mount Smart. So I think the Blues and Warriors will be at Mount Smart. The Auckland FC will be at Western Springs. And the big stadium will be reserved for concerts, All Blacks, and cricket, T20. Unless they make it big enough to have Test cricket there. You guys happy with the idea? Happy with what's come about?
I just heard a little bit on it on Sharks. Funny enough, yesterday I was on my way to work, but yeah, Mount Eden, just the location itself, just needs to be redirected, sort of thing, because now you got new residents, over the years, they're complaining to the Auckland Council, it's too noisy and all this and all that. But then you get on chat as well. You get a lot of people, locals replying to that saying, "Oh, well, you shouldn't move there then, you know, you shouldn't move there." So it's just like back and forth sort of conversation with local residents and sports fans. But I don't know. I think, man, that revamp of it. I mean, man, I remember they spent millions on it before just to upgrade it, just to cater for, the World Cup, how many times, how many millions goes into that stadium every time, and then they did it again for just to make a new design at the waterfront, as well with the cloud. But it's going to cost them what revamp about 110, just over 100 mil, yeah, just to upgrade Eden. But that they said if they want to do it right and make it a super stadium, it's going to cost about $1 billion. Yeah, like far if they really want to secure a good place for it. But then why spend that much money on Eden Park? If tally it up, yeah, every time big events start coming through, then it becomes a 3-year plan or a 5-year plan to start investing back into it. But then if you think about it per year, if you're going to spend that much money, it's going to cost just as much, just to maintain that building as well, eh? And then you got to promote hard out to try and get big events down there all the time happening every year, right? Otherwise, you're going to lose money, and then taxpayers ends up picking up their bill. Man, to be honest, yeah, relocate, because that area alone, just with the shops, restaurants, and everything like that, how much sense does that make, though? And with transportation, it's all clouded, it's all congested, and then people just don't want to go to the stadium. They want to party straight after that as well, right? So, man, how about look at Christchurch? Look at Christchurch as a super sort of stadium, eh? Shit, relocate there, and then make Christchurch the happening place for sports, or big events. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. What do you guys think?
That's a terrible idea. Terrible idea, man. Nah, remember when we won the bid to host the second World Cup here, 2011, and they thought about all this money that could have been poured into a new stadium down at the waterfront. Eventually, they reformed Silo Park and the Cloud. Still chase their dream, man. It's in the middle of the city, the viaduct. It's there. The hotels are there. Downtown's there. There's 2 ways in and out of the city pretty much from all sides of the city, over the bridge and from south. It's central. It's in the middle of the city, man. Why call us the city of sales, and then put a stadium all the way on the other side that was on land that was gifted from Ngāti Whātua? It doesn't make any sense, man. Don't put it out south. It's too far, man. Like, you still gotta walk, man. It's Britain Mart's only there. It's what, 3 Ks? It's not even a walk. When people are drunk, people are sober, everyone likes walking around the base, walk to the start of the, get past around the first corner of Tamaki Drive. Oh man, I just feel like this board of directors that are in the council at the moment, they don't want to flinch to change, man. All they're thinking is the long game of like bills, but it's like you can't create a brighter future without doing the hard yards now, man. And eventually someone's gonna have to make that decision, man. Because if we had Auckland FC based out of there and the Blues, mate, that's a 2-in-1 win. Using Eden Park to revamp, like how many times you want to revamp it, man? We don't get enough out of it. You know what I mean? If you had like a Battle of the Bridge, like schools from Rangitoto coming out in over like Westlake Boys playing Auckland Grammar, playing King's College at this new stadium, bro, we'll be getting the most out of it. And if they built it like Bruce Pullman Park, where they had a basketball stadium a tier off it, even better, man. It makes more sense to do it like that. Like, that's a waste of a ground, Bruce Pullman Park. It's so far, man. Yeah, it's got so many amenities that you can use, I think if we were to think, okay, how can we take everything in one go and place the stadium in the right place? Bro, downtown Auckland is probably the only one you can pick, man.
No, I agree.
It's got all the places you can eat, all the places you can drink, all the places you can do those peep shows, all the places you can meet all the singers, and on top of that, everyone wants to go to town. No one wants to go to. That's too far. Like literally when you get it's at Eden Park. Already people are like, oh yeah, we won't be going out after that. That's for sure.
Especially for yourself, because you catch 2 trains.
See,
Gotta
there's
get off
even
at
West
Newmarket,
Bray.
catch another train, go there.
Well, that settles. Like, just make it one way, one direction. You know, some people that come in from South can even stay in town if they wanted to, man. Like, you know, change it up a bit. But nah, yeah, man. We need a stadium in town, man. I gotta see this in my lifetime, bro. I gotta see this in my lifetime. If we can host America's Cup and it can go off, we can have a new stadium and watch some football in the stadium, bro. You know? That's what we have to see in our lifetime, boys. And then we're gonna see, like, you know, maybe I need Joe Parker, Jaya Bataya fighting in this sold out stadium at the middle, bro. That's us, man. You know, that's what we need to see, man.
Is this a conspiracy not to put the stadium on Maori land? Because it's Maori land down there.
It's these guys, they want to go ask Ngati Fatuos. That's what it is, man. They're too pala'ai, man. They're too pala'ai.
Is that
They
what
don't
it
wanna-
is? Is that what
Oh,
it
who
is?
knows, bro? They probably don't want to go up against the King Tonga, you know? They don't want to open up a can of worms and be like, oh, fuck, see, this is what we have to deal with. But say, fucking deal with it, man. Someone's got to have the big fools enough to go stand there and say, look, he's going to gift us some of this land that we don't have to pay the rates on it. We call it a reserve, fucking let the council maintain it the way it is. Provides more jobs, man. Go and ask, man. They fucking keep pouring money into fucking money and fuck that place.
Yeah, man, that place is, bro, this is
fucking-
costing everybody money, man. Like I was saying.
When was the
But,
last time we saw like a school ball being used in all those function rooms? This is never happens, bro. It's like a waste of time, man.
Yeah, no, 100% agree, man. The waterfront's the place, man. The waterfront is the place. But Wayne Walker said that it makes no sense. It's unrealistic financially. That's what he says, and he says Eden Park is a no-brainer. I mean, bro, what the shit
It's
you
the
going
white
on
men's
about,
club.
bro?
Is it this Balangi? He's trying to buy more shares and buy more corporate boxes in it, man.
Oh yeah, don't edit that part. Just keep that part in there. Letty, gotta run it
We're
straight.
better off by selling off more corporate boxes to singers in the new city. Or how about just sell one whole side of it designated to building, you know, like construction. Designate one whole other side to like other small businesses, like people who have got the money to put it up, man. Like fuck, they can do it. They just don't want to. They just don't want to do the hard work to do it, man. That's my 5 cents about it.
Yeah,
I mean,
think-
there's not much space in Kingsland for businesses. Like, we're gonna expand.
Yeah.
When you put a big stadium there, it's gonna be the same old bars along Kingston. That's gonna benefit. You put the stadium in town. There's heaps of room for other businesses to pop up.
Oh, bro, absolutely. Like, think of like after the Super Rugby final that me and the girls went and watched, and we got fungered by the Crusaders, right? All we saw was like all the streets blocked off. Now, if you're a resident and living in those streets, you'd be pissed off because you want to leave your house, right? You can't. You go downtown Auckland, okay? All you're gonna do is get the Maori wardens, block that road off, put those yellow freaking barricades across. Fuck, you're done, bro. People can walk for fucking K's on K's, and no one has to worry because the lights are green. There's no traffic coming through the city, man. Oh shit, we can't catch the bus now. Walk up to K Road, walk up to Pitt Street. It's easy, man. Let people get lost in the city. But nah, I mean, Aucklanders aren't that bad when they're drunk, man. You know. But yeah.
Yeah, I think town logistically would be awesome. It'll definitely bring a revamp of Queen Street. Look how many you walk along Queen Street, you see so many places that leases are for sale. You know, so many businesses are shutting down, and you want to still invest in Kingsland. You know, we've already seen the racing at Western Springs being shut down because of the noise. So what's next? Why are we reinvesting money into Western Springs when they already want us to keep the noise down? You know, my selfish tendencies, I would love to have the Trust Stadium in West Auckland built up. You know, that's just me being selfish. But you know, it'll be hard on traffic to get there, and there's hardly any car park. But for town, yeah, you guys are right. The hotels are there, the businesses there. You know, Fortuna Restaurant, you know, whatever. And the hotels can absorb the capacity. Like, imagine if you're a couple and you want to go watch the All Blacks game, and it's in that new stadium, right? There are so many options. You train there, you walk to the stadium, you watch the game after the stadium. there's so many like restaurants, that are there for you, and then maybe you want to stay in a hotel room, stay the night, and then go back home the next day. There's so many options. It's unlimited. But with Kingsland, they block off the roads. You got to get off at certain train stations and then walk to the Eden Park. And then once the game's finished, you come out. You got to walk even further to the Western line. I think it's Morningside. They direct, and you walk out. And imagine if someone had like an emergency, like they had to leave the house. Someone's in hospital. You can't. There's people walking all over the street and everything. Whereas in town, as long as it doesn't constrict Auckland Hospital or any emergency services, it can be done. And Liddy's right, man. Like if they put in the money now, in future Auckland City, the economy will reap the rewards. We've already seen how bad it is at the moment with our train system. We didn't invest in an underground rail system, and we're still suffering it for it today. So we need to invest now, especially in a new stadium. Eden Park will always be Eden Park. That'll be the home of the All Blacks. Doesn't matter. But if we have a new stadium, it'll ease congestion and it'll bring more money, more vibrancy to the centre of Auckland. If we get a new stadium, it's definitely a no-brainer. And I agree with Letty, man. Like, I would love to see it in my time. I don't think so. But, Eden Park would always have the same Eden Park problems. No car park, struggle with those narrow streets. They're so narrow. There's only one way in, one way out in some places. And those restaurants and bars, even though they're good in Kingsland, they only cater for maybe 50 plus people inside the restaurant. And then you got to find somewhere else to go. Like, how fast are those restaurants filling up and congested when you leave? But yeah, that's my 10 cents.
Good calls. Even at Eden Park, last games we went to over there, and we called an Uber. We had to walk a flipping couple of blocks down just to meet up with the Uber because he couldn't come in because it was all blocked off.
No.
Even that, just the Uber driver, man. That sucks. How about, stop looking at investments at a 10-year plan or a 20-year. Man, make it a 100-year plan, bro. Yeah, spend big, man. Go big. Make it in town.
Yeah.
I think two of the voters here, one of them's Josephine Bartley, yeah. One of them's Josephine Bartley that voted to have it at the waterfront as well. But apparently, as we all know, they got outvoted. And sucks, eh?
Is she young, that Josephine? Because that's the thing, eh? Like, these decision makers, if they can get out of that mentality of, I need to be alive when we built this thing, that's not looking at long term. Because, man, you gotta look at long term, man. If you're not alive, if it takes 100 years, you're not alive, stuff, man. It's for the future. It's for the benefit of the city in the future. And if you're gonna if you want Auckland City to be a top-notch city compared to around the world, you gotta have upgraded things in your city. And one of those upgraded things, there's an opportunity to put a stadium, a main national stadium in your middle of your city for, like you said, Eddie, like for logistics, but also from a design city planning perspective. Like, this is your chance to start living again. Build something, and then you can build the infrastructure around it. You can't do nothing at Eden Park. It's already in the middle of a residential area. There's already a train there. You're limited from a design perspective to put added stuff in there because you can't, because you got to deal with what's there already. With the waterfront, you're starting from scratch almost, and you can build whatever you want.
I'll guarantee Ngāti Whātua will be on board because Maori business and Maori economics is on the rise for like the last 10 years. There was a massive meeting that the National Party invited business people and representatives and CEOs from around the world. Taxpayers' money. They spent like $1 million to bring them in hotels and whatnot, and none of the iwis were invited, but one of the iwis forced their way in. And I love what they said at the meeting. They said governments can come and go. You make a deal with the national government, they get voted out, your deal's fucked. You know what I mean? But if you do a deal with the iwi, it will never change, right? Their CEOs are a whakapapa. You know what I mean? Like, it carries on. Their thought and process is way different to government thought process. So I reckon the local iwis and the tribes will be on board because it's investment for their children. for their mokopunas and whatnot. They love playing the long game. Whereas the government's really short-sighted. They're only thinking about the 4 years that they're in power. And then once they get voted, they think about the next 4 years.
Nice thoughts there, boys. That's a good topic. Moving on, next topic. So, man, I've been following this NZR versus the schools, high school, first 15. So, because I'm not really familiar with what happens with the school rugby system. I know they've got the top 4 to represent the Blues, Chiefs, and Hurricanes, and whatever it is, and then they go down to the national game, and it's all the top schools in New Zealand's first 15, right? And then after that, they choose players from that bunch to be in the national schools first 15 now to represent New Zealand. They go play Australia and South Africa. But now what's happened is that NZR has proposed a new national team called the Under 18s New Zealand team, which would not only incorporate students that play in first 15s, but also kids, any kid that's under 18, whether you're at school or not, at tech or anywhere. So NZR saying this is for inclusivity, to include any under 18 kid who are talented, who are not in a school, that can play for this team, or are at a school that don't have a first 15 at their school. So this has angered a lot of principals. At least 40 principals all over New Zealand have written a letter to NZR disagreeing with this decision to not have this under 18 New Zealand team, to keep it as it is, to keep the way it is, the New Zealand schools. And there's been a big debate. NZR said, nah, we're doing this because we have to align with Australia. Australia do it this way. The Northern Hemisphere do it this way. We have to change to align with them to keep up with the times. That's their reasoning. The school's reasoning, one of their reasons is that it's bad for kids to concentrate on being professional athletes if this happens, and that they'll take away from their education. And it's probably the same excuse they have with the whole taking off the televised first 15 games, right? So, yeah, man, it's an interesting debate. But I'll start with you, what's your thoughts on all this?
I think the NZR have pretty much shot themselves on the foot. Just to look at what the Rugby League has done, and I've said this in previous podcasts, man. The New Zealand Rugby League have a New Zealand secondary schools, and they have a clubs under 18s, and they play off against each other. They then pick one team that goes on tour. Yeah, I mean, this was evident, man. The AG League school in Australia is what, 17, 18, eh? New Zealand secondary schools here, as long as it's had a long-standing, strong history of like All Blacks in the past, maybe it does need a shake-up, man. But I mean, also just the way they pick the regions these days is totally different from how they picked it back in the day. Whether this is a good stepping stone for those kids, probably, and probably not. I mean, I know a lot of schools hold on to players if they can repeat. I mean, if they're young enough, by unlike being under 19 to go back and do a repeat year. To be honest, I think it's a step backwards. It's a step backwards, and the New Zealand secondary schools should just carry on doing what they're doing, man. I mean, many guys that play first 15 level, they know, like, any, like, I'll stand by this. Any West Auckland first 15 can probably take on a Club 21's team and roll them. It's that simple, because first 15 level in Auckland is pretty much semi-professional. That's made up of trainings on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then game day, you know what I mean? So it's not a step backwards in terms of like where the game's going, but I think it's a step backwards in terms of like what is there to achieve. Because when you play 15 level and you've been playing it for a while, well, this opens the door for the NRL clubs to come in and sweep whatever's left over, you know what I mean? Because if you're 19, ideally you want to be stepping into a Premier's club, but there is no under 19s grade. Like, the rugby clubs bring it back and they take it away, depending on the first 15. Because if, say for example, if Liston didn't make the 1A and they carry on playing 1B, a lot of those guys want to play competition. Like they didn't want to just go and roll because Liston will win that grade every year, man. So they want to go play club, and then that's the winner that they see. So the under 19s, the 21s is where they want to, test themselves. Otherwise, leave Liston and go to Custard, play in the 1A Cup and play against the elite like the Grammars and that. But
So there is a Barbarians under 18 team, right?
yeah.
So what they want to do, they want to downgrade the New Zealand secondary schools first 15, downgrade that to a trial team and have that the same level as the Barbarians under 18, plus 2 other teams where under 18 players can play for. And so these are like trial teams where they will pick the under 18 New Zealand team from.
Well, I think the big mistake doing it like that is that, like, say for example, if say the 4 of us go into this trial, right? We all are the standouts for our official teams. We're all outstanding for our region. If we go and then Eddie is the only one who makes the Barbarians, and he fucks every prop up, every scrum. We go and we carve up every midfield in the region, and then we don't get the Barbarians, but we miss out on the 19s, and then the 3 of us end up playing with Eddie, with Kaiser and the under 18s. Does that look fairly honest to say that we're picked on merit, or are we simply picked on our performance? Because the performance goes out of those. They'll pick us on our history. They'll pick you on. They won't pick you on like, say Eddie played the best tournament. They never pick it like that. They bring this third team in just to shy away from, look, those guys, they probably don't play better together, but they play better away, like separated. Because that's what they always do in these sort of tournaments, man. Like name, I think there was like, it would have been Nicol Jones's year. The year that St. Peter's won the New Zealand, how many of those guys ended up in the Auckland team, and how many of them played the New Zealand schools? Nico was the only one. It's evident, man. Like when they go and bring a third team in, it's just another reason to push back the talent. And that's where the rugby league guys come and sweep all these dudes out of the water, and they become NRL players. Now, Fahu White's another example. They pretty much locked them in from a secondary schools player, but then the league will say, nah, carry on playing rugby because you'll get all that elite training that you need. And when we need ready to grab you, on Mau is another example. Ed 15, David Fisatoa, all these examples of guys they played, they might not be the best, but the work ethics there. Easy sweep up going to the NRL, man. So NRL, the New Zealand schools and the rugby union, they just every year, man, just making up better reasons to why to leave the game. There's no money and there's no loyalty, man. Because all the talent gets overlooked, man. That's it. It comes down to favoritism and these guys play better, and then there's no catching it for them, There's no safety net for them.
Favoritism history, right?
It's been like that forever, bro. Look how many guys leave Auckland and then play better, they become All Blacks. We've got the best history at it, man. Our history is the best. Look at the Canterbury Type 5, how many Aucklanders down there? So adding another team is just adding another team to make the other region stronger and Auckland weaker. So adding another team for the Worlds is like, nah, all these guys are going to turn their back on rugby altogether and go play league.
Or get
Much
shipped
more desirable,
overseas, right? Or look overseas, right? Because they also grow and strive overseas. The ones that are talented and don't get chosen, right? When they end up going overseas in Europe, playing in Europe and that, they strive and they grow from there. They become superstars on their tournaments on that side of the world, right? So yeah, no, well said, Letty. Well said, man.
I wish it was to say, it's going to strengthen the New Zealand rugby scene, but it doesn't. It's just trying to catch all the guys that miss out. But by that time, if they're not playing club level and they're not playing provincial rugby, they're pretty much either working in the factories or just trying to chase a league contract, because there's more contracts, more academies out there to chase.
Yeah, I was looking at it from a different angle, like NZR, their viewpoints is they want to enhance player development and they want broader opportunities for athletes, and regardless of school affiliations. So for me, I think NZR just wants to try and centralize first 15 rugby, because if you look at it, like this team that they're forming, it will diminish the significance of first 15. So why would you stay in school? You know, there's no effort for you to stay in school. I mean, like, you can drop out of school and just, you know, go pro, basically. The NZR, they would have more power, especially over developing rugby at the 17 to 19 year level. But like, for me, it's like the secondary schools program in New Zealand is untouchable. You know, you play for your school, you build that culture, you build that brotherhood between players, you know, and you play well with your brothers. Like, you know, it's first 15 rugby for me at the moment is like amazing to watch. And like, you know, like I said on many podcasts before, as soon as that Kelston game finished, everyone left when Auckland and Canterbury came on for that NPC match. Everyone gapped it, bro. You had like what 5,000 people there watching a first 15 final. You know, like NZR just wants to cash on it. You know, it's like, bro, come on, just leave it alone. Let the schools do their traditional pathway work that they've done for so many years. It's not broken. What's broken is the NZR level after schools.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's from first 15 level to the NPC level. There's something wrong. It's broken, and the NZR needs to fix it. But they're trying to do the blame game by attacking the schools by forming this under 18 squad. So it's just another way of trying to centralize rugby to NZR and not leave the power to the schools, because how the schools have been doing it, the traditional framework and pathways that they've been doing for the last 20 to 30 to 40 years, it's working. That's why touch it? You know, there's a whole controversy of St. Kitts bringing in players and whatnot. You know, all the schools did a letter to stop it, and then they changed the rules. They know what they're doing. Just leave the first 15s alone and try and fix after. What happens after? I think under 18 is just disruptive. You're trying to fix something that's not broken. What's broken is probably after that, the 19 and upwards. So for me, it's like there's a battle going on between traditional pathways versus what Cameron was saying, the modern athlete standards of around the world. But you have to remember, we're not the world. We're New Zealand, bro. We're All Blacks. You know, what we do here is what we do here. Let's not try and change how we're doing to meet with the other standards around the world. But yeah.
Can I mention, like, you know, like Ofatunga Fasi, he played what, Mangere, yeah, he played Mangere first 15, and they sent out like a training campaign to the secondary schools, which was like a blues one for South Auckland. And that's where he got picked up. Like, that's evident, right? It's like, to make a whole competition, like, how many Ofatunga Fasis are they going to pick? Like, you're pretty much saying the four of us is going to make one of these 3 or 4 rep teams. But whether we all play together is just going to be picked on, like, who's a better, whoever the coaches agree on, who will play Barbarians, who will play 18th, and who will play 19s. So, I just feel, man, they just, it's like they need a good shake-up, eh? A good shake-up. Because, bro, first 15 is where it's at, man. Like, yeah, the schools have got to, like, especially our 1A comp, man, we've got it down to the pack. Like, fuck, a lot of these guys, one preseason, they'll start the next year at a league club, you know what I mean? But nah, exciting times, man. But I don't know, bro. Like, I can understand the frustration with the schools being upset that they've sort of taken the focus away from secondary schools. But then again, how many Ofatunga Fasis will be playing local club football? I don't know. It's hard to see, eh?
It sounds like to me like a control thing rather than what's the pure interest of the kid, right? I mean,
100%.
NZR, of course, NZR want to, nurture the future All Blacks, right? So that's, you can do that. You can do that easy, right? And the schools want to, keep the system that they've had all these years with first 15s. So to me, it's like, it's the outcome. Like, you want the best outcome for these kids, right? And the best outcome for these kids, if they want a career in rugby, to give them every opportunity there is, right? And that includes going overseas for overseas contract. Like, you don't have to make the All Blacks. You don't have to make NPC team. There's a whole lot of clubs around the world that can sign you up, and that's why I was all for the the televised first 15 games. I don't know why they took that off. And I thought that was an excuse. What they're talking about mental health and all that. Like, come on. Like, there's other mental health stuff that's around that's worse. Like the social media and all that kind of stuff. You can't tell me that a kid that drops the ball on live TV is gonna have trouble, at school and all that. Because man, that's part of the game. Like the kids are teasing you if you drop the ball in the crucial part of the game and stuff like that. Like, it's part of the game. It's just is like there was no reason to take that off. And all you did was, if you're worried about scouts overseas watching these games and trying to focus on players, I mean, so what? It's an opportunity for that kid. Opportunity, like, it just ups your game if you wanna have these kids in your area. Just ups your game. Like, what are you gonna do about it? And yeah, it's just it seems like unnecessary. This whole changing the way the structure is for under 18s, where the schools are saying that don't try to fix what's not broken. So yeah, just have to wait and see. But it's an interesting debate that's going on there. I see the poor kid, like 2 hands like that, and NZR's pulling that way, and the kid gets ripped apart. Come on, man. Shit. All right, boys. Just the next topic. So I'll let you put the one up, eh? What was it you? Put the one up?
Oh, the Kane Velasquez.
Yeah. So fill us in on what's happened.
Kane Velasquez has pretty much served a 5-year sentence while being on bail. The reason being, he the day the perpetrator was released, so one of his kids was being molested, the perpetrator was released on bail, and Tele de Kama felt the need to go and chase this dude down while the guy was with his parents, and shot at the vehicle while the vehicle was moving, and managed to hit the perpetrator's dad in the arm. Now the dad doesn't have mobility in his arm, but I think the highlights from what had happened is that if this goes to trial, I mean, and they pretty much said 99% of Americans would side with Kane Velasquez because this guy obviously did molest his son, and what should happen to him. So the kind of pushback on Kane is that he should get 30 years. That was from the perpetrator's lawyers saying that. So when I first thought, okay, Kane Velasquez, a trained MMA fighter, he's gonna get life for hurting someone, but the guy is still alive. And when I found out even more details, like, so he didn't use his MMA killing skills to hurt someone. He actually had a gun and shot at the guy who done this stuff to his son. So throw it back at you guys, man. Like, well, what would you have done, or do you feel like the time fits the crime that the man done? So if you guys are
Tracks last I followed this one was about a year ago. But yeah, just to answer that question, yeah, for sure, no second guess. No matter if you got a martial arts background or what, it's that's probably one of the worst sins you can do, right? Probably one of the worst sins you can do, and then for a father to react, that's his right. Yeah, that's his right. Yeah, of course we've got laws and all that. Yeah, but for sure. But a natural reaction from a father, from any parent, man, that's exactly what 99% of fathers will probably react to doing. Yeah, whether they're gonna actually action it is a different story. But when they do action it, it's all pure. How you say, good against evil. Hey, well, I shouldn't actually put it that way, because at the end of the day, it's his natural reaction to protecting his family, to protecting his son. For whatever sentence, I haven't really caught up with that one, but I believe, like you said, 5-year sentence, yeah? Is that a 5-year sentence that's locked in? Man, give it up for Kane. Man, you got a lot of respect on this side of the world too. So, yeah, man. Big ups to him. Big love to him as a parent, as a father, as a son, as an uncle, for protecting his family. Up to you, Eddie.
Oh yeah, man. You can't put any measurements or any metric on a father's love. It's powerful, man. You know, father's willing to do whatever he can for his kids, bro. So yeah, I agree. It is a natural reaction, but he's taken full responsibility. He understands that what he did was wrong, and he said he'll accept any punishment that he receives. 5 years is more than heaps. Because he did use a gun, he did shoot, he did injure someone. So I think 5 years will be more than enough. But that's the punishment for him is he's not spending time with his kid. You know what I mean? He's 5 years in jail. He's not with his son. So it's gonna hit him hard. This is 5 years is small, but for him it's like an eternity. Not being with his son. Taking him to school and whatnot, and he's probably gonna have trust issues. So he's stuck with trauma too. And then at the end of what is anyone thinking about the kid too? There's a 4-year-old that got molested. This is gonna live with him, stay with him for the rest of his life. But yeah, I'm just an uncle. If something did that to my niece and nephew, bro, like fuck, there'd be some powerful feelings coming through. So imagine being the father; it's gonna be huge. He's probably one of the most dangerous dudes on the planet. Kane Velasquez, fuck, his knockouts, man. But yeah, we should never submit ourselves to vigilante justice. We should always hope that justice will be served. But yeah, it's just hard, bro. I feel for him. I feel for his son more. But yeah, I think 5 years is adequate. Yeah, that's me. That's my 10 cents.
I can't add anything more to that. I probably only think is maybe 5 years too much. Maybe just 1 year. 1 year so he can get back to his kid. Yeah.
He probably will just finish it off with like a year and a bit because he's been on house arrest for like the last 3 years.
Right.
But
good behavior and all that kind of stuff, eh?
Yeah.
time served, yeah.
Yeah.
So if he's done 3 years in, that's already should be just doing the 2 then.
Yeah.
Out of the 5. Yeah. So on record it will be 5, but then yeah, crazy times, eh? So,
Okay, moving on. So Eddie, you got comments corner.
Oh, you.
Before you do that, I just want to update you guys on the score. Manly 12, Parramatta 0.
Hey.
hey.
Let's go, man.
16 minutes to go in the first half. Comments corner.
Yo, so comments corner. There wasn't much on TikTok for us, but on YouTube, from our last video, suggested series to watch. One was from Vailima. He suggested Line of Duty, which is a British one, and one of the guys I haven't seen comment before, Adrian Doherty, Resurrection Otugor Bay. I've seen it. It's actually pretty good. It's about the formation of the Ottoman Empire. So yeah, I've seen it. And then just the last one, a guy called Jake Lou 6651. He asked if we could cover a topic about myth and the issue with the gangs as well with in New Zealand. So I'll just pop it up to you boys for a future topic. And that's comments corner for this week.
Nice.
Seki, nice. Thanks for everyone that's running comments on our YouTube pages and TikTok. Moving on, what have we been watching? Start with you, Kaiser.
Yeah, I've been watching Scent of a Woman.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys remember that movie, but to be honest, I seen the highlights of it back in the days, but I didn't actually watch it, so it was recommended to me to watch that one. Man, I forgot the actor's name, the one that played Scarface.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, yeah, that man, Al Pacino. Fuck, he's so talented, eh? Just all those movies, eh? That highlighted. Yeah, Al Pacino, the one that starred in Scarface, stars in this one, Scent of a Woman. Man, he plays awesome in that role too. The next one is Enemy of the Gates.
Oh,
Enemy of the Gates. Yeah, apparently that's based on true events. That
Yeah.
happened
Jude
in the
Law,
war.
Jude Law.
Jude Law, yeah.
Jude Law on that.
He's a sniper, for the
Yeah.
Soviet
And
Union.
then he's Russian, eh? He was
Yeah.
underneath the Russian army. And then Germany got their best sniper out, eh? An old
Yeah.
school out of retirement. He's not retired, but he's a general or something, colonel. But I haven't finished watching that one. So long movie, good story, good storyline on that, based on true events. Yeah, that's about it. That's the only ones I've watched.
Nice. It was,
Eddie.
oh man, yeah. Like man, all these suggestions are coming through, so I gotta start knuckling down on the series soon. But nah, I've just been to be honest, I've been just watching some old Empty Out the Clip podcasts before I jumped on. Like yeah, just watching some of the videos and whatnot. I've been watching some other podcasts, but really I've just been deep diving into YouTube. Really, yeah. Just I like my docos, especially the ancient history ones. So I watch a lot of that, and just NRL. Just watch a lot of NRL and Moana Pacifica. Man, it's just I don't know what a time to be alive. We've got access to so much things to watch. We're kind of spoiled for choice. So yeah, no, I've just been waiting for a series to kind of just knuckle down because man, I just need a little break from Sopranos because that was amazing. That was absolutely amazing. That journey, just the highs and lows and the way they talk and stuff. I'm trying to get some of the boys at work to jump on. Shout out to also Jaden, one of the one of the knife hands. He recently left and went to Australia. Because me and that guy were messaging each other hideouts on some of the episodes. But he was ahead of me by 5 episodes. But he was good. He never spoiled too much. He just gave me little hints, and man. So just that's just be me really. Just have a breather, trying to sort out what series to watch. I've got a few lined up. Wire is probably the main one I want to start with. And I've been watching a little bit of Reacher and a series called The Rookie. So yeah, now that's it for me. Yo.
Everyone was pissed off about the end of Sopranos, how it ended.
Oh, yo.
But I kind of like it, because Sopranos ends like how it starts, in a random part of Tony's life, and it ends in a random part of Tony's life. So I actually like that.
It took me probably like an hour to kind of like let it sink in. Because I was trying to think hard out. What? Is that it? You know? But yeah, when you deep dive, that was a perfect way to end it.
How about you, Let's?
Sorry, I forgot to mention, man, but I've been watching like the Runner Straight Challenge. It's like the biggest hits online. Shout out to if you think back now, like, and there's been a question and like I think it's Charisma, that the big guy, because he was it Charisma 86. He's trying to ask where did it start. Bro, I'm gonna give you the fact drop here, man. It started in Ranui, but at Birdwood Primary School, bro. First time I'd ever heard two guys call each other out, man. And I think it would have been Junior To'o calling out Sione Lawaki, bro. Asking, fuck, run us straight. We had intermediate guys at our primary school. So when the big kids would run over the top of some of these kids, bro, one of the kids would call one of them out, man. And I remember Junior calling out Sione Lawaki out, bro. And he asked him, fuck, run us straight. And then the bell went. But I remember always going around like, fuck, bro, you see these two, they're going to have a fight. He goes, no. He was asking them to run us straight. And that's like what you see on these videos, man. Like, these guys are just, you got one guy being passed the ball and another dude standing on the other side waiting for the collision, man. So there's two types of running straight challenges in Australia at the moment. There's the runs? I think run it. That's one of the ambassadors for that is the Sofo Solomon.
Yeah.
And bro, it's to be honest, if you know the collision zone, it's like one guy's in the 5 meter box and the other dude gets like a 15 meter head start, like a run up, man. Like, unless you're like built like bricks, bro, like some of that collision doesn't sort of wear itself, But where's the other dudes from Sydney? they let you run meet halfway if you have to. Like solid, they've posted like 4 big videos on YouTube so far, and yeah, I think they've been to 2 places up in Brisbane, and yeah, just their Sydney ones, bro, have been going off. Shout out to the one fob dude who obviously recorded the Run It Straight challenge for the Sydney guys, and I don't think the guys knew, but they put it as Run It Straight, so you can get like a crowd's point of view on it. But yeah, I've been watching that, and that's been going for the last 3 months. Been watching the Amazing Race, man, with Taitui Vasa and his brother Logan, man. So, man, that's a good watch, eh? Especially because they just wrapped up Africa, and they did a couple of they've done a couple of series where you know, they sit in front of the camera and they give the deep talks. This is the first time Bam Bam's brother's been away from his kids. I remember I picked up fucking off their podcast that they were talking about a place where Bam Bam's running along the bridge and he falls through the bridge. So one of these episodes is coming up. So I'm looking forward to watching that. What else have we been watching? Nah, nothing like worth watching of that. But yeah, like you, Eddie, man, just hard out on YouTube, eh?
Yeah.
Hard out on YouTube, bro. It's like, just wake up. I'm not that guy. Every time I sit in the sitting room, the kids go, "Oh, I'm not the YouTube." I'm like, shut up. But yeah, they always give me that, eh? But yeah, I've been been waiting to see who's because there's this one guy over in Sydney, man. He ended up showing up to one of the other meets further away from the park, and he ended up winning it as well. But he ain't been head to head with this Kiwi kid. So I'm wondering if Felix is gonna show up again in one of the later episodes of the Run It Straight Challenge. So I hope Felix is yeah, man. I can't wait to see Malepe someone else. See.
Man, let me touch up on Letty's. Man, to be honest, the original Run It Straight, it started in Auckland and our back lawns. Hey, yeah, how about that, man?
The 5-year-old
Started
5
in
or
our
6.
back lawns, man. Originally, yeah. Man, crazy.
I've seen the shorts for Run It Straight, and I'm thinking, man, you know, we were talking about how certain industries lack health and safety. And now seeing these Run It Straights, like, surely these guys gonna get concussed. What, man?
What are your thoughts on that, Kems? What are your thoughts on that, Kems? On that health and safety bus for Run It Straight? Because there's been a lot of comments on that too, eh?
Well, like we said, like there's gonna be an injury. There's gonna be someone's hurt, seriously hurt, and then that's when the rules will change.
Yeah.
Now, be
What
honest,
happened?
I'll give you my 5 cents. You know, watching it on the YouTube, I think it's entertaining and funny. But when I'm watching it on my phone, I think it's fucking stupid. Because there's safeguarding around. Like bro, someone goes through these motherfuckers for something stupid they created, and then, what? You know what I mean? It's like you wait for something serious to happen, and you're like, yeah, these bunch of guys throwing money around. But because guys are desperate, man. Some of the guys are, why are you down here? Why are you trying to, I got a new job, man. Haven't been working for 2 months. Yeah, man, like, I'm going to give it a crack. It's like, that's how bad times are, you know what I mean? People struggling to find work. But these guys show up to a park with 6K. Oh, yeah, if you mess up, you win another K in the next round. Like, that's how how deep these woofers are rolling with their money. It was like, see, alu face supper, whakangaka, and make a feed and feed the kids at the park, you know? Like, but these guys, they want guys to fucking smash each other in, man. And I hope Mark Hunt shows up to one of their Run It Straight challenges and tells everyone to piss off, and he fusses these guys, tells them to run it straight to his first day. It's like, fuck. Like, that's my honestly point of view on it, man.
Nice. Yeah, I've started watching the show. It started in 2019 because I saw it when I saw the preview for season 4, and that's the first time I've ever seen the show. So preview came out in season 4 and it looks really good. I didn't even know it was season 4, but when I went back to watch season 1, the show is called The Righteous Gemstones. And if you can imagine Destiny's Church and Brian Tamaki, if he was a billionaire from his church, this is exactly what this program is about. It's a comedy. It's about this pastor played by John Goodman, and he's got 2 sons and a daughter. So they're behind this empire, this church empire that they've created for a long time. And it's similar to Destiny's Church, the way Brian Tamaki, he gives money to the church and he's rich. So these guys are billionaires, right? And it's about, he's getting on, the pastor, he's getting on, so his sons are like gonna take over the family business. It's like a family business. It was a church. It's about how one of the sons, he gets blackmailed. He got caught the video snorting cocaine at a party, and he had all these prostitutes. So the people that blackmail him, they want $1 million. Otherwise, they'll release the video to the newspapers and that. So it's called let's say the Righteous Gemstones. It's on Sky.
Yeah.
It's on Sky. It's on Neon. Yeah, I recommend that. It's funny if you want to get a laugh. It's crack up. I finished Reacher season 3. I thought it was really good. Better than season 2. I thought season 1 was good. Season 2 was a bit off. Season 3 is a little bit better. I love it when he turns into the Punisher, and he shows no mercy.
Yo,
Man,
uh,
I like those parts. Those are cool. And I watched something else. Oh, The Pit. So I'm watching The Pit. It's that medical drama. I think it's down to watch the second to last episode. But man, it's all on, eh? Because there's been a mass shooting at a festival, at a concert near the hospital. Fuck, it's real mean, eh? Because they've got on the news that there's a mass shooting, so they expect all these emergencies to come in. So they actually close down the hospital. Everyone that's waiting in the waiting room, they tell them to go home, or if it's serious, to go upstairs. So what they do at the emergency room, they prepare it for like a war zone. And so they get everything ready. They put a triage outside in the parking bay where the ambulances are, and they get doctors out there, and they move stuff around so they can treat patients outside, because they know there's gonna be heaps of people coming in, and they ring up the night shift to come, or the night shift come down. So help. So it's full on, but it's cool how they prepare it, because they show everything. Like, oh, we're gonna get the first people coming in. There's been a mass shooting. Everyone be prepared. Everyone's like putting on their stuff. All the emergency equipment comes in, and they set everything up. Man, it's real interesting. It's real cool. And I was thinking, man, if that happened in New Zealand, it probably did with the mass shooting down in Christchurch. I wonder how those hospital down in Christchurch, how they did that with that, because that would be a similar sort of thing. And it was real cool. It was real cool to see how they prepare. You don't think about this sort of stuff, But man, it's real cool how they prep for it and that. So yeah, that's the Pit. I've been watching. I think the last episode is next Friday. Yeah. So that's me. All right, boys. Feedback of the week. What we got for us? Let's.
Oh man, it has been somewhat of a interesting feedback of the week. I know we've had a few feedback of some of the posts. But starting with the I'm sure this was a softball international guy, and this is from Tene Samoa, etc. And obviously, he must be a native Indian American. Indian accents. What looks like one of the Samoan Kiwis, if he can just say a few words in Samoan. And I just thought to myself, good on you, also. Love it. Love your energy, man. But it's just like, yeah. It's the most words you can say with malo, also.
Similar to our cultures and stuff like that with the North American indigenous people. Can you say something in your language and tell us what it means?
Actually, sai lava o le mapulu na ingainga o le ainga le familia o se ti Malawiso.
Okay, so what would that mean?
Just say thank you to all the families that have supported us through the tournament, and much love to the families back at home.
Okay, so from what I understand, you're Samoan?
Correct.
Okay, so then...
685 to the world, yo.
Yo.
Well, there's one from Filippo. I think this is an Uppercut Award. It's the 5 dumbest TikTok ban moments. And this is a yes or no, please. I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Look over here, please.
I've never heard of a country called Singapore. Is it in Western Europe or mainland Europe? Because I certainly have never heard of Singapore.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the.
So if I have
question.
TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Can you assure me, or can you at least tell me, if you turn on airplane mode on a plane, can TikTok talk to the plane, please? Mr. Chow, if I plug in my earphones.
Yeah, I'm not so weird with that one. It was
Dumb Christians.
I've seen the full video to that, eh?
Yeah.
It's bro, the ignorance is crazy.
But they're all old, those people that answering the questions. They're not into the internet.
I never heard of a country of Singapore. Sorry.
I put this one up because there's a guy who he talks about, it's just Mr. Lavender. He talks about his the NRL monetized something that he said on his TikTok. It was pretty interesting, because someone obviously said, "Oh, bro, I think they have," but he went on a rant to talk about it, and he's like, "What do you guys reckon?"
And then monetize that idea through a video with paid partnership through TAB? Or is it a coincidence that I'm just tripping out? So firstly, I suppose, quick little background. Last week, I was at my daughter's footy game, and I was speaking about a new rule that I've been thinking about for a while, but I had the opportunity to make a video about it. I won't put the whole video, just a snippet of it. You can go and check it up for yourself. I'll put the link in the comments. Got me thinking about a new rule for all you rugby league and NRL fans. How's this as a rule? If you play the ball on your side of halfway and you score, you get 5 points. All teams will be setting up shapes and plays to score from inside their half, and it'll be a lot of running. Yesterday, NRL Online put out this video.
A try from inside your own 40 is 5 points, which would encourage teams to move the ball coming out of trouble.
Oh, nothing to see here. Just billionaire corporations stealing ideas and monetizing them. In Joey John's defense, I assume that he's just given a script and he kind of works off it and just sort of discusses that idea. They've probably got researchers that go out and research it. I don't care too much about the whole copying part of it, if that's indeed what it was. It's more them monetizing the idea. Now that sucks. But I could be tripping out. Could be just a coincidence or not. Straight up, tell me what you fellas reckon. What do you reckon?
I tell you what I reckon. I freaking they monetize your idea. Oh my god! And this last one here, bro. So obviously there's a video circulating of a guy in his church that Marvin Sapp, he called the congregation up to put money in front of him, and I thought, man, that's a pretty smart idea. Thinking like $40,000, but he went as far as telling everyone to lock the doors. But I thought maybe you should play where Brian Tamaki's putting it down now, and now you tell me if that's a smart idea and who stole the idea from who. But that's from this one's from Paru Az.
It's mesmerizing in its awfulness.
Along here and place it and put it all up on the, not the stairs, up in here on this flat. Come. Place it, try and spread it out and put the money there.
Brian Tamaki exhorting his audience to cover the stage with their money.
Come. You take it out of the envelopes and spread it out. God's told me how this should happen. It's going to be placed in the open so it can swirl the aroma and the fragrance can spread through the place and the atmosphere, and it can sit here and it can begin to allow that to arise to God.
Tamaki's hungry for more and is happy to manipulate religion and scripture to cajole his audience into giving more.
My God shall supply all your need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus.
That's Philippians 4:19. Needless to say, Matthew 19:24.
Hallelujah!
About how hard it is for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God doesn't get a mention.
The Holy Spirit told me to do this last night. He said, spread it out. You will qualify.
I just gotta say, if that guy needed a new battery for his Tesla, throw it back at you guys, man, because that was a good way of how to make that money.
Sorry, that's exactly the that program I'm watching. The the righteous gemstones.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with that movie Casino?
Yeah.
With
Yeah,
Joe
yeah.
Pesci and Robert De Niro. You know the scene in the beginning with the casino, and then they go to the count room at the back, where they count
Yeah.
all the money, and then the mob guy comes in and skims from the top and
Takes his cut.
and walks out.
Yeah, skims his money.
He takes his cut. You know that count room? And the program, The Righteous Gemstones, they got a count room like that after church, the back of their church, counting all the money. But you know, the stuff that we're watching with Brian Samke and all the money thing, that's not new. That stuff's in America. Like he's copying off those churches exactly like their program I'm watching.
Yeah.
They got their private jets and their mansions.
What about you, Eddie? Guys, he's pick one of those fear buckles. Because it's at different
Yeah.
levels, you know, at different levels.
Yeah, there's different levels.
Yeah, man. Different waves, different frequency lines there. But yeah, probably go for the Singapore one, where Singapore country. I mean,
Singaporean.
man. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Lee Kuan Yew, one of the old original professors from Singapore. So man, yeah, probably that one, and then the monetizing one. You must definitely get it monetized, brother. You know, that's what it is today. You know, if they're running out of ideas, big corporate people are monitoring, doing research online. I think they have a small team online these days, to actually research that sort of stuff if they run out of ideas, Who knows? I mean, use the internet and social media for what it is. So pay that brother there his royalties. That's me on those two picks.
I'll go with the Tamaki one, man. I would have walked up and got my coins out. If I didn't have my coins, I would just put my, those A4 letters for your bills. Just lay it out. Lay out my bills. But nah. It's crazy. But you know that rule about the halfway mark? I've heard heaps of those rules, Like there was one where so after you score a try, it's 4 points. In NFL, you can go for 1 point conversion or 2 point conversion. And they were saying that NRL could do the same. So instead of going for the 2 points, you can go for the 4 points, but you got to start from the 20 meter line, and you got to try and score a try from there to get your 4 points. If you fail, you fail. Yeah. So there's a lot of those rules circulating. But yeah, I feel sorry if that guy lost out on that monetizing of that idea. Yeah.
Is that similar to American football, how they can choose whether to go for a
Yeah,
goal
that's
kick
what I
or
said. Yeah.
go for another touchdown,
Yeah.
or 2 points, Yeah, I'll give it to that guy. If you got a good idea, man, why are you gonna put it online for everyone to take?
Yeah, hard.
Like,
Hard out.
football, man. Yeah.
He is
That's my
the real
one.
fair ball.
That's it, man. So why would you tell someone your idea, right?
Yeah.
Well, that wraps up our field buckles of the week, boys.
Thank you.
Okay, we got a food review. So, as I mentioned before, my mum's 80th, so we had it at Saturday at lunch at Fortuna down at Sky City. So, man, first time I ever been there. Never been there before. It's been around for a long time. Yeah, man, it's a buffet, So, don't know how long you guys have been there. Last time you guys went there, but man, when I went, it reminded me, and I mentioned this before, before we jumped on the mics, but man, it reminded me of Valentine's back in the days. There's a lot of options. Smorgasbord. You had your seafood. There was no oysters there. It was a bit disappointing. You had everything else though. Crab salad and shrimps and prawns and all that. Mussels. Those were nice. So that you had your seafood section. Then you had your kind of like your casserole sort of section too. They had spaghetti bolognese if you wanted that. They had your fast food section in there, like the chips, the fish, the fried fish, the nuggets and all that. You had that section. Then you had the gourmet stuff, like the beef. You had pork ribs there too. There was a lot of choices, A lot of choices. You couldn't really do pick one thing at a time, like pick one thing each for your plate, because there's so many. You probably had to pick a certain dish, like butter chicken there. They had a lot of fried rice. They had rice there. They had potato bake. They had macaroni. They had pasta. Yeah, they had a lot of choices there. So yeah, I just got what I could. That was alright. But you know, the funny thing that I remember that was real nice was the coffee. Man, the coffee was on, man. That's the best coffee I had from a machine.
Oh.
And you know, machine coffee is not that great, but man, this one, bro, I just wanted to carry that coffee machine home, man. Take it home, plug it in.
Nice,
Man,
nice.
that was nice coffee, But yeah, had dessert as well. Had the cheesecakes. They weren't that flash cheesecakes, but you know, had a choice of soft serve, vanilla or chocolate, and you have all the sprinkles you put on there, and the sauces too, like chocolate sauce or raspberry sauce or whatever it is for your dessert. So yeah, it was similar to, if you remember Valentine's back in the days, it's similar to that. A lot of choice, fresh food's fresh. Nothing wrong with the food. You can get vegetables as well. Looking at the menu, it's $60 per head for lunch, $70 per head for dinner for adults. So no, it was okay. I give it out of 10. I give it probably a 6.
6.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. I mean, it's not bad. It's not great. It's all right.
Damn.
Yeah.
The coffee carried.
The coffee got me to 6. Coffee got me to 6. Over average, a bit above average.
Yeah.
The pork ribs was a disappointment. I must say. It wasn't that great, the pork ribs, but no, everything else was solid 6 for me. 6 out of 10.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had my food review on that one. I got one. So I went on Friday, broke my fasting for the week. That Friday. So you guys heard of Mr. Katsu?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys been there before, eh?
There's a few around. There's one in Henderson. There's one. What's that? Liquor Road.
I know the one in Henderson, but I've been to the one in Henderson and the one in Otahanga, Royal Oak. Yeah. Comment down below too for your viewers checking it out, man. What's another good thing to order from there? Because the one I ordered from Mr. Katsu in Royal Oak was number 18. 18 beef on rice with Japanese curry. So that's number 18, and that cost me about $18 too. One of the boys, he ordered crispy chicken, fried udon noodles. Yeah. Crispy chicken on fried udon noodles. That's number 17. Also cost about $18. Man, that Japanese curry, to be honest, man, massive chunks of beef, massive portions, and just filled it up to the top of the container, on the takeaway container. So it comes separately. It comes a separate container of curry and a separate container of steamed rice, right? Man, I'm gonna have to give that a good, probably a good 9. A good 9. Probably the best curry I've ever had at a takeaway joint. Yep, best curry I ever had. Most definitely gonna go back there again. So yeah, man, try that one out. Number 18, beef on rice with Japanese curry. The udon, the crispy chicken with fried noodles. And that one, probably give it about a 7. A 7. Still good, still fire. But just the price, just for what you get, man, you're gonna get a good feed, man. Because I was like my onga, man, pretty much halfway through that curry. I had to force myself to finish that because, man, I said, oh, man, I'm hitting the gym after this, which I didn't. So I just finished it, man. On rice, you can't complain, Actually, the boys were actually eating some of mine. They wanted to taste mine. And they said, yeah, have a taste. So, man, a good 9 for that curry and a good 7 for that crispy chicken, fried noodles. Mr. Katsu, Henderson or Royal Oak.
Nice. Nice, boys. We're about to wrap it up. Thanks for coming on. Another episode of Empty Out the Clip in the books. See some last words. Let's go, Kaiser.
Last words. Once again, shout out to Grace Foundation, to all the brothers out there doing your thing. Man, much love to you and your families and your stories as well. It was very touching to hear. And just catching up with a few of the brothers from Grace Foundation. So shout out to all you brothers there. Keep going, keep striving. And have your say too. Yeah, have your say. It's most importantly, have a voice. Also shout out to to all the hardworking families out there, doing your thing, doing your hustle, putting a nice healthy plate, I should say, on the table, and just changing those changing those ways, those habits, from junk food to healthy food. So let's keep it going, family. Let's support each other. Let's support the Maori, Polynesian, Pākehā families that are struggling, and also trying to change that lifestyle of nutrition and putting a healthy plate on the table for their kids. So yeah, that's me.
Nice, Uso. Yeah, my last words probably appreciation, man. Man, appreciate everyone that watches. Appreciate Cams having me on. Letty, Kaiser for sharing your thoughts with me. Yeah, just some of my boys been messaging me lately. So just this week I've just been having to sit back and just appreciate the blessings. I think that's the main one. Just appreciate the blessings that come your way, because this week was hard work, but man, there's so many blessings come my way. So shout out to all the people in my life. Shout out to you boys. Yeah, just showing love, man. Seki.
Nice, brother.
Sure, Russell's. My last words, just wanted to share some love for Mark Hunt and everything that he's been going through in the last, pretty much since 2017 with his lawsuit against the UFC. Yeah, Mark's been one of my idols, heroes ever since that dude pretty much stepped foot into the ring, man, the square ring. The story resonates because there's one thing I've taken off all the interviews that he's talked about, and it's that's been himself. Like, he's never changed, always had the same demeanor, same sort of heart, and just never changed. You know what I mean? Yeah, bro. That to me is like, I think the mistake that a lot of us do is that we put expectations on people, and they can be loved ones and they can be friends. So my last words is like to anyone who feels like if in a friendship that maybe their friend's not pulling the weight. It goes both ways, man. If you feel like your mate's not showing up or he might be MIA, there's always a reason why a friend might not reach out to you or not keep in touch for whatever reasons, All of us can say life gets in the way. But I think at the end of the day, it's nighttime, man. So yeah, you know what it is. Get late in all of it.
Sure, boys. Man, thanks for jumping on again. No last words from me. Just have a safe week, and we'll see you guys back here. Same time, same
you
channel.
want to talk about Manly?
Oh, still 12-0. Scores still 12-0. And yeah. Oh, just missed that try. Okay, see you guys next week, man. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you made it in.